Right. Alex King, founder of Terignōta. Welcome back to the Steep Stuff podcast. How's it going, man?
Doing well. Thanks for having me back on. It'll be
Yeah.
fun to catch up, and yeah, maybe I should have went back and listened to the previous episode, but I feel like a lot has changed since then.
Uh,
So yeah, excited.
Dude, I thought the same thing. I was laughing this morning on my run. I went back and I listened to the first one. And it was kind of eerie. And I was telling you this before on the pre-show. Yeah, exactly a year to the day, March 4th, which is the last time we chatted. So it's been kind of cool, man. It's been fun to follow from afar as well, just like as a fan of the brand, as a fan of you. Since then, you've released a couple new products. Your social media game has been on point. You've also won a few races, which is dope, and we'll talk about. Things seem like they've been pretty good from afar.
Yeah, it it all has felt like a bit of a whirlwind, and like haven't had a lot of time to really like step back and be like, oh, this is like, yeah, things are going well, because it's just like trying to keep up with everything. But yeah, I think overall things are going better than I could have ever expected. So
I love it. I love it. Are you still
yeah,
you're still based in Leavenworth, right?
yeah, still in Leavenworth. Um, I actually just signed a lease on a place in Kashmir, which is like 15 minutes down the road. Not for living, but for Terignōta, which is a pretty exciting update or something.
That's breaking news, dude. That's amazing. The
Yeah,
fact
breaking
that
news.
the business is like self-sufficient enough that where you can take that leap of faith and now you're going to have a space for it. Because a lot of people when they're bootstrapping and trying to figure this thing out, it's like usually they're selling shit out of their garage or trying to figure it out that way. It's never an easy feeling. So that's going to feel pretty good to be able to kind of take that leap of faith.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I mean, right. So I started in this building that I'm in now, which is it's a building in downtown Leavenworth that it's an old hotel that I started with just renting one room in here for like $400 a month, and have slowly just been like texting my landlord like, hey, any more rooms open? I need some more space for boxes. So I'm up to 4 rooms now. But they're like second and third story rooms with no parking and no windows. And it's just not, I mean, it's worked because it's cheap and I've made it work, but I'm very excited to, yeah, make the move to a bigger space, have like, it's a 4,400 square foot warehouse kind of deal, which is, I don't know, infinitely bigger than I am now. And yeah, really excited to like just build it all out and get going
Grow
from
this
there.
thing. Yeah, continue to grow
Yeah.
this thing. I got to ask you a hard question off the bat. This is something I think about as a creator and as someone that's also in, I don't want to say a saturated market, but in a competitive market. Like podcasting is competitive, apparel is competitive. And just from founder to founder, like, how do you deal with just like pressure and stress of like wanting this thing to work so bad and then starting to see like little flashes of like success here and there? You'll take one step forward, two steps back. Like, can you talk about that and like how you deal with that as a founder?
Yeah. I think, I mean, like every day I'm worried that tomorrow nobody will show up to the website and my sales will just go to zero and it'll all crash and burn, which doesn't, I mean, if you think about it logically, doesn't make any sense at all, because like, I don't know how many days exactly we've been in business, but some 400, 500, I have no idea. But yeah, thinking about it logically, it's like, well, that hasn't happened in the last 500 days. So why would it happen tomorrow? And it's like only been, I mean, it's up and down all the time, but it's only been like doing better overall. So yeah, I mean, it scares me every day that it's, for whatever reason, people will just start hating Terignōta tomorrow. But I think just like looking at the, yeah, having faith in like the history of it, and also there, I mean, there always is going to be ups and downs, like uh in January we had a big restock of shorts and shirts, and we had one day that we did $75,000 in sales, which is insane.
It's legit.
And like, but in other days we do like $500 in sales. Well, we actually haven't had it. Well, anyway, the point is we go up and down like a ton, and it like I mean, it was cool to see that huge day, but also like I knew that it was just like a blip and that tomorrow could be completely different, and I'm not going to get like too down if it's a bad day, or too up if it's a good day, or like I'm just going to like keep doing the thing, keep packing packages, keep like nothing changes in my day to day when we have a great, well, I guess I have to pack a few more packages, but nothing really changes in my day to day when there's like huge ups or huge downs. I just keep doing the same thing, and yeah, keep making it happen behind the scenes, and like hoping that that will pay off in the future.
I see, I don't know, this is just a thought. I think of like starting a business and starting whatever you're starting as a way of like, in a way, like showing up for your A race every day, in the sense where you can't be concerned about what others are doing, i.e. your competitors. You have to be concerned about what you're doing and the things that you're working on. Do you ever struggle with, because I struggle with this, like worrying about like, okay, like what are my competitors? What is Free Trail doing? What is this person doing? What is that person doing? Being reactive instead of proactive. How do you deal with that as a founder, especially being in a market where you're competing against so many different brands?
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of things to this question, but I do think one advantage Terignōta has is it kind of feels like we're playing in a different arena than most apparel brands. Like we make like it just feels like a different game completely. Like I'm not throwing a bunch of ads at people. I'm not like signing big contracts for athletes. I'm not and we just have a inherent differentiation of price that's like a big differentiator. So yeah, it kind of feels like I'm not playing the same game, or at least that's what I tell myself, to like make it feel less, directly competitive. But on the other hand, I definitely still get like I see other brands coming out with new products, or like I definitely fall trap to like the marketing that other brands do of like how cool their new technology is, and want to, I don't know, have that moment for myself. And I don't really know if there's like a great way that I deal with it, other than just like saying like, oh, like what I'm doing, it feels like a useful business and a cool thing, and like I'm happy to be doing it. I don't need to go chase somebody else's project or game, or like I just want to play my own game. I don't need to go try to like jump into somebody else's. And yeah, I mean, there was like one, I don't want to like name brands here or anything, but there was like a specific instance a few months back that a brand, anyway, I don't want to name brands or call anybody out, but yeah, there are times that I get very self-conscious and like, oh, they're going to eat our lunch and whatever. But then like the product comes out, and you realize like, oh, that's actually just a completely different thing, and we should just worry about doing our own thing and making our own stuff good. So
I appreciate that. And I think it's a great answer, in the sense where, I don't know, man. I don't know. I find myself sometimes having to like just get off social media altogether, because I'm like, I can't be so stressed out, and I have to just focus on my art and the things that I want to do and put out into the world, and not be I don't know, influenced, if you will, by any other
Yeah,
outside
totally.
force. Because if you're focused on what you're doing and you're focused on the things that you're excited about, that comes through in your product, that comes through in your voice. And yeah, it's an interesting trap. It's something that's been on my mind recently. That's why I asked you, because I don't know, I feel like you're in this position as a founder where, you're trying to build this thing, and, like I said, the competition, and, it's also easy for you to, or not easy, but it's also, I think, really important for you as the founder to just be focused on what you're doing, because it's had a lot of success so far. I mean, at least from the outside, from what I
Totally.
can see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. And like what you're doing, what you are doing is what differentiates you and like makes people want to come listen to your podcast or buy Terignōta. And like if you start trying to imitate a different podcast, or if I start trying to be a different brand, like why wouldn't they just go listen to that other podcast, or go buy something from the other brand? Like doing what playing your own game is what makes people want to come enjoy it.
exactly. I want to pivot a little bit and go to one of the things I appreciate is you're very transparent in putting out like your financials and talking about some of the growth that you've had. Talk about the idea for that. I think that's very cool, because it really helps the listeners. It really helps the people that are buying your product, your patrons, and people that are, behind the brand, really connect with you in a lot of ways.
Yeah, initially I like released my financials simply because like when I was starting out, I wished other brands would do that. Like I think it would be so interesting to see. It would just tell so much more of the story if other brands showed how they were actually doing and like what they were actually doing, instead of just seeing the like marketing that they put out as trying to sell stuff, instead of like the reality of behind the scenes. And I also just like am interested in how brands, or how puzzles are solved. And so like, yeah, it's cool to see the nuts and bolts behind what's going on. And so like I wish that other brands would do that, like for me when I was starting. So like I just thought it would be cool and other people might be interested in it. And I felt like I didn't really have anything to lose by doing it. So I mean, if people were like upset at the prices I was selling stuff for or whatever, like that's fine. There are other things for them to get upset about that. Yeah, like whatever. So I didn't really see any downside, and I was just like curious about doing it. Uh, yeah, and another reason is it's like super good for me. Like I sometimes, like it's easy for me to just like let my record keeping and financials and whatever get way behind. And so like doing this is actually really helpful for myself to put all these numbers together, because it's like not required. I mean, for taxes or whatever it is, but for like the more nitty gritty of like where the money is actually going is actually super helpful for myself to put it all together and like see that. And yeah, I think it does build trust with people. And I also like, it's helpful to, I don't want to say like call out other, like say what other brands are doing is wrong, but I think it's super important for people to like know like how much the gear actually costs, and like what value Terignōta is adding and what value brands are adding. And like, I mean, this could go into a whole discussion on marketing and like how much money brands are spending on marketing that like just comes from product costs, aka you. So yeah, anyway, there's like multiple reasons, but really originally it just came out of a curiosity of other brands and wishing other people would do it. So I wanted to like start myself.
I mean, it's definitely gotten a lot of. I mean, you can speak to this more than I can, but I could just speak in my sphere from the people that I know. Like a lot of friends that listen to the podcast really like like you and like really resonated with the brand. I mean, dude, I put out, I've got like a little group of amigos that I'll send out before I have like someone on. And I'll be like, Alex from Terignōta is coming on. What do you guys want to know? And I got a ton of questions. Like, you have almost like a borderline kind of like cult following amongst like some of these hardcore trail runners. People that don't want to pay a gazillion dollars for, when they know the margins and the markups from a North Face shirt or a Satisfy Moth Tech shirt or some shit like that. You know, they just want the basics. They want what's going to get them from point A to point B. So I would imagine you've had a lot of success from, at least on the social media side and just from the product side as well, from those types of people that really have built trust and that you've built trust with in the brand.
Yeah, I mean the two, I've only done two of the financial posts so far, the 6 month and a year, but both of them have like gotten lots of traction on social media and like a ton of good feedback and responses and comments. And yeah, I get lots of messages from people, which I find very, yeah, I'm just like very appreciative when I get that are like, yeah, there's no other reason they write them other than just to tell me that they appreciate me being open and transparent about my financials. So yeah, I think it has developed trust, and it's like a trust both ways where it like keeps me in line. Like I know that if I do anything ridiculous, like I'm either going to have to stop putting out financial reports, which maybe people will read into, or like I will have to actually show it in my financial reports so people will like see that I'm doing something dumb and like call me out on it. So like both is a way for me to be transparent, but also a way to just like keep myself in check, I think.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
In the last year since we've spoken, you've dropped the Valhalla vest, and I think it was the Juniper jacket as well. You've got co-branded with Hydro Flask, Terignōta soft flasks as well.
Yeah.
Talk about these new products and the things that you have put out in the last year. It's kind of cool, man. I mean, you could do all of this stuff. You could buy this whole slew of gear, and it's going to cost you less than $200. Where you go to any other brand, and the vest alone is going to cost you $200.
Yeah, I will say the vest was $84 originally on pre-order, and then when it came out, I changed it to $89 because I got like really hit with tariffs on those. So Ooh. It's actually like $202 or something now for the full kit, not the $197 that was on my Instagram post. But anyway,
people forgive you.
Yeah, thanks. I forgot what the question was. Oh, the new products I've come out with. I mean, I don't really know where to start with this one, but like, I love making products and developing products and like tinkering and figuring things out and designing. And that's like that's like my favorite part of the business. And so like, I'm always working on things, and I don't really have any timelines for products or like dates to hit, because everything takes, like, sometimes I'll submit a design and specs for a product and get the first samples, and it'll be like super close to what I was wanting or expecting, and sometimes it'll be really far from what I was wanting and expecting and be terrible. And so like, if it's super close, then the development process goes pretty quickly. If it's really far, then it takes forever. And like, either way is okay. And I'm always like, so I'm always working on it, but I just don't know how long exactly things will take until they get like pretty close to the end. So yeah, the vest was a long time in the making. I went through a bunch of rounds of development with that, and it's like pretty design intensive compared to like a t-shirt. And also the minimum order quantities on the vest were huge and expensive for where I was financially at the time. So that was just like a scary move to make. But yeah, I mean, I'm just working on developing, like rounding out the line of products without, making multiples of anything. I don't know.
No, I like it. I like it. You got the full kit, man. Can you expand on that a little bit about like bringing the vest to life and telling that story? Because I don't think people realize. I think folks when they see a brand, let's just say the North Face, right? They come out with all these products, and no one really associates any risk behind a brand creating these products because it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation and a private equity company. You are Alex King sitting in your office in Leavenworth, Washington, and you're trying to bootstrap this thing. Like, there's a lot of risk there with financially for trying to, get these orders, these massive quantities of, vests that you hope people are going to buy. Talk about that story, putting that together, and betting on yourself for that.
Yeah. So like I was saying, the vest took a long time in development, and the development process is actually fairly affordable. Like getting samples from the factory and making changes and whatever is, it's a few $1,000s, which is a lot of money, but compared to a production order is fairly affordable. So yeah, I guess I was working on the vest for, I don't know, I don't know how long, 6 months, 8 months or something. And, you can only do so much. I mean, I did a lot of running in the vest, but I still I'm always like very self-conscious of if like I am the only one who likes this vest, or like even when I have 5-10 people try out the product and run in it themselves, like maybe we're just happen to be the 10 people in the world who like this product, and everybody else is going to hate it and want to return it. Or like there's so many risks that it's one thing to get 10 samples of a product that are like within size tolerance, but it's a whole different game when you make thousands of them and less attention is paid to every individual product. So maybe they'll come and the sizing will be completely off and whatever, or like there'll be an error you didn't foresee. So yeah, like the vests and flasks ended up costing me somewhere around 100 grand to produce, which, yeah, at that point
That's big money,
nowhere. Yeah, I had nowhere close to that amount of money. So I was like, I don't know if I just don't know if I'm gonna do this vest right now. Like, it seems like way too big of a risk. But the people who had been using it, and specifically my girlfriend Jenny, was like, dude, this is like the best vest I've ever tried, and like people are gonna love it, and you just got to go for it. So yeah, I mean that I took out a Shopify capital loan for $60,000 and said okay, and went forward with production. And like I'm not sure why, like, it didn't feel super scary. I mean, it felt scary because it was a lot of money, but it didn't feel like, I knew that I could pay that off eventually if I just needed to go get a job or whatever. Or like, I don't know. It wasn't like I was gonna die if it didn't work out. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't actually know why that didn't feel that scary, but it was like a huge risk. And if the vest didn't work out, like, yeah, that would have been the end of Terignōta. But when I first started Terignōta, like it was the same thing. Like, I took out credit cards and bet on myself and bet that these people would like these products. And I've just like kept doing that. And like the numbers have gotten bigger, but it's the same. I started with 0. So if I go back to 0, well, that's fine. Like I won't have it. I don't know. It all just feels kind of like a big experiment, play money right now. So, yeah, I don't know.
Has this like reshaped your view on risk? I asked this question because like I come from a corporate finance background where everything is about risk, right? Like what's our potential return? What's this? What's that? And it's interesting because everyone has their own risk tolerance, right? Like $60,000 is a ton of money to one person and it could not be a lot to another person or whatever. You know what I'm saying? How has it reframed like your view on risk and like betting on yourself? Like, because I feel like if you succeed at this, which it sounds like you are and will, like almost it's got to completely rewire your brain for other things that you can bet on for yourself in life. And same thing with whether that's athletics, whether that's with business, it doesn't really matter. Like it's all the same game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's rewired my relationship with risk because I've always felt, I mean, at least financially, I've always felt pretty risky with or pretty comfortable with risk. And I guess part of that is because I've like never had something to lose, I think. So like I've never had like the golden handcuffs issue, or I've never had a high paying job, or I've never had like more than, I don't know, $10,000 in my bank account at once, like my life savings, or yeah, I've like never had much to lose, so I've never felt very adverse to risk, I think. And so I don't know if having success in Terignōta has changed my view on risk, but it definitely has like allowed me to risk more, kind of, which feels super exciting actually. Like I'm like stoked to be able, like I just put in new production orders for or not just, but a month ago or so, I put in new production orders for a bunch of products, and probably, I don't know the exact total, but it's probably near like $200,000 of inventory. And it feels like insane to say that and be able to like risk $200,000. But it also feels like so cool to have the opportunity to like try and like go big. And yeah, again, like I didn't have anything when I started this. And so like, if I risk it all and it all blows up, like it was a good ride. It was fun, but doing it, I learned a lot and whatever, like it, yeah, risking it all doesn't seem that scary to me right now, because it like not that long ago, I was still just at zero. So yeah.
You had mentioned tariffs earlier. I'm in tariff meetings all the time at work, dude. It's a pain in the ass. Can you talk about how tariffs have impacted your business and having to be agile and figure out stuff around ordering for stuff like that? How has that impacted you in any way?
I actually think it has not impacted me very much. I like, I don't know, listen to the daily about tariffs or whatever, but I'm not like in the weeds about what actual tariffs are in place now versus, yeah, I'm not like that, following them that closely. I like don't feel like I have the ability or power to pivot quickly enough, or like the desire to, or the know-how to. So I just like keep doing what I'm doing and just like take it, whatever they tell me to pay, I just pay it. And like, I don't think it's really, yeah, I just don't think it's really worth my bandwidth to try to like chase this game that nobody knows what's coming or what's legal or not legal or whatever. Yeah. So like, I got hit pretty hard with the tariffs on the vest and the flasks. And they came from Vietnam and Cambodia. And I don't know how this is happening, but somehow my factories in China are doing pretty well. I just pay the money they ask me to pay, and that's it. Like, and thankfully it hasn't been a crazy increase in prices, and I don't want to ask too many questions. Yeah,
I wouldn't ask questions either. Just keep it rolling.
Yeah,
keep the train rolling.
Yeah, the product shows up, and I pay the money, and that's all I really care about.
You said something around bandwidth, and I just have this question because, dude, like I'm always busy. I can't like it's a pain in the ass to manage a business and train at the same time and do all of these things. How do you structure your days now? Are you all over the place, or do you have to be structured in the things that you're doing so you can manage it and get to everything?
Yeah, it feel I don't have a structure. Like I don't have like, okay, I wake up at this time and I do this first and then I have lunch, then I do this. Like I don't have any sort of structure. I'm very unstructured, but just from the nature of the business, like there ends up being like the structure just naturally comes like every day the post office is open. Usually the first thing I do is like get on my computer and respond to customer emails and process exchanges and ship orders is like the first part of my day, and then I'll depending whenever that then I'll bring all the packages to the post office and then uh, try to go for my afternoon run, which is nice that I can just like go for a run at 3 p.m. or whatever, and then usually in the evenings I come back to work, and um, the evenings are like when I really like the evenings. I'm a night person, so the evenings are when I do like business development stuff, whether it's like working on products or anything that's like not a daily task. Um, so there's not. I mean, it ends up being there is actually, now that I say it, there's like quite a structure to my day, but uh, it feels all over the place a lot of times, and just like sometimes I don't do any business development stuff because I'm just like in the office packing orders all day, which is kind of, hopefully that'll change in the near future. But it's really just like as long as I can keep up with the like urgent daily things like orders and emails, like as long as I can keep that in check, I feel pretty good. And like making progress on business development is like feels like a bonus. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I mean, hey, dude, everybody's got their own way of doing things. I got to ask you this question. The business is big now, so you deal with a lot of customers. Not everyone's going to be happy with their order. Is it hard or like stressful if you get like an angry or upset customer? Because like I feel like if I get like a 1-star review on something, that kills me. It's like, oh, dude, that actually really hurt. Like I'm putting this art out into the world, and if someone really doesn't like you like went out of your way to do 1-star, like come on, man, like what are you doing there? And I can imagine it's gotta hurt if someone really doesn't like the product or this, that, and the other. Like, how do you deal with that as a creator?
Yeah, it does affect me a lot. Like fortunately, I don't get that many upset emails or that many bad reviews, or I haven't yet at least. I'm always worried that I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have an inbox full of bad reviews, but fortunately that hasn't happened yet. uh, but when I do get them, it's like insane how much more they stick with me and like ruin my day than like when I get the good ones.
Yeah.
I've tried recently to like, I get a little notification in my inbox every time I get a review, and like it's like blah 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 left a 5-star review or blah 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 left a 1-star review, and like I like skim really quickly the 5-star reviews and like, oh thanks whatever, and like hardly even think about it, and then like read every single word 10,000 times of the bad reviews and like eat myself up about it. But I've tried recently just to swap that, and like I just leave the 5-star. I mean, I read them and then I mark them as unread, and then just leave the 5-star reviews in my inbox. So every time I open my inbox, there's like a few 5-star reviews in there, and like yeah. I mean, I look at the bad reviews, but I like they still get to me. But I just not everybody's gonna like the product, and most of the time the bad reviews are like, oh, he didn't respond to my email fast enough, 2 stars. I don't even have any products yet, but whatever. I'm like, so like most of the times the bad reviews are just like nonsense anyway. or like somebody just wanting to get my attention. So I like, yeah. Uh, yeah. And for like people sending like upset emails, it's always actually like I've realized I never really thought about customer service. I didn't think about customer service for half of a second in my life before I started Terignōta. And like I personally never return things. I just hate the process of doing it, like whatever. So I didn't think about it any. But starting Terignōta, I've like realized how important customer service is. And like somebody sends me like a upset email or a whatever, they're unhappy with the product or something bad happened, or like even if they're just um it's amazing how you can take like this initial bad interaction or bad interaction and turn it into like a lifelong customer if you just like treat them with like kindness and show them like it's just a human behind the screen, and like I mean usually give them what they want. But yeah, I think when you just like accept, usually their gripes or whatever are true, like, and so if you just like say like, yeah, my bad, here's how we can fix it, uh yeah, it like the interaction like turns around very quickly, and they were like, oh, like they realize it's just me behind the email person, it's not like some AI agent or whatever. um yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit of patience to like calm myself while I read the email, but if I respond with, I don't know, respect and kindness, and like take ownership for any issues that we had, like, yeah, I can turn around that, and it's very rewarding.
Dude, I appreciate that comment, or that just that feedback there. I mean, I think that's like the number one thing I have had to like work through and like figure out and just get a thicker skin on, is like, all right, like not everyone's going to really agree with what you have to say online, when it comes to, something like the podcast or something like that. So you got to have a thick skin, and you have to be, willing and open to hear everyone's point of views on it. And, not everyone's going to, some people are not going to like what you have to say. So
Yeah, and like I just realized it's clothing, and like everybody has such different bodies, and like
yeah.
the same shorts or shirt or whatever is just simply not going to work for everyone, and like that's okay. Like there are plenty of people these shorts and shirts or your podcast will resonate with and work for, and I will focus on them, and I will say, sorry they didn't work for you, sorry you didn't like it, here's your money back, whatever. Like to the ones who don't, because yeah, there's literally no way I'm gonna make a short or shirt or whatever that resonates with everybody in the world, and like that's fine.
I'm going to shift gears a little bit. At the risk of turning this into a marketing conversation, I am so curious to talk to you about marketing. One thing specifically I want to get into is like you're in the position you're in, like you could go one of two different ways. You could be super organic like you are and do your thing, or you could put out a gazillion ads and put ads all over the world. Come check out Terignōta. And you don't really do that. What is your take on kind of your marketing? Like, what is your, I don't know, your approach to this, and what you want to do marketing wise?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about marketing. So um I I guess like my initial thought to that question is like I don't I don't I don't do ads. Like I don't pay for ads on Meta or Google, or I don't pay for ads anywhere. But Meta and Google are like the biggest ones. And every time I see a sponsored ad on Instagram, or I see like a commercial, like a ad come up on YouTube for like a product that I know or use or whatever, it's kind of like now every time I see one of those, I'm just like, well, they're like the product is more expensive because of this ad I just saw. And I think that it, I mean, Terignōta is in the fortunate situation where we don't. I mean, it was a decision in the beginning to not advertise, but we're in the fortunate situation where we don't need to advertise, and like we make a product and have a brand and a price point that people trust and believe and want to share about. And I think it's like it's not it like one can't happen without the other. Like we don't advertise, and like we got to this level of trust and having a product that is high enough value people want to share about because we don't advertise partially. Like if we advertise, we would just need to raise our prices, and then we would just be another pair of shorts for $80 or whatever. And because we don't advertise, then people talk about us, and then we don't need to advertise. So it's like a cycle, a self-fulfilling cycle almost, I think. And I think advertising or paying for ads is like a negative feedback loop in a way where you start paying for advertising and then you think like you pay for advertising, so and that's where you see sales return on that advertising, so then you start paying for more advertising, you see more sales returns, but like you end up just like giving Meta and Google a bunch of money, and which increases your prices or makes your prices stay high, I guess. And yeah, it just seems like a negative feedback loop to me. And there's like, I mean, I don't know if you want to go into this farther, but there was an episode of Second Nature recently of a sock company that like the title of the podcast was like, this company spends $1 million a month on advertising or whatever. And like, I love Second Nature. Everybody should go listen to it. But
yeah,
I was like, so I was just like, why are we like glorifying the fact that this brand spends gives Meta $1 million a month? Like nobody, I mean, sure, some people, I think the general zeitgeist is that people don't really like Meta, and yet we're like glorifying the fact that this brand gives them $1 million a month to do what they do. Like Meta doesn't make money on much else. Advertising is Meta's biggest revenue stream, I think. Don't quote me on that, but
no,
I think
you're right.
I'm fairly sure. And like the sock company doesn't make money on anything else but socks, and so like the sock company isn't just like out of their own goodwill pockets giving Meta $1 million a month. They're taking it from, like, we are paying that sock company $1 million a month to give to Meta. Like, and why do we need a one, like, artificially increase our sales of socks? And also, if our socks are good enough, shouldn't they just sell themselves? Like, why do we need to throw them in everybody's faces and take $1 million a month out of the loop and just like give it to this company that nobody really likes? And yeah, it just like does, like, the whole system of advertising just like doesn't really make sense to me. And yeah,
It's interesting. It's such an interesting thing because I think, I don't know, I do agree with you. I think there's some instances where it can make sense if it's organic and good in that way. But like where I was getting at with this conversation is the last time you and I chatted, we completely shat on Satisfy. And at the risk of completely shatting on Satisfy again, that's where I see like just the whole thing completely inflated. Like you're getting a product that, to me, I've seen the product, I felt the product. It's kind of your average product, but it's 6x the cost of, maybe probably, I don't even know what their margins are, probably insane. But
yeah,
their budgets are crazy because they're, they have these aid stations. They do all these fancy things for their athlete team. They do a lot of like their marketing is insane, and that budget is insane, and that's why the product is so expensive. And it's like gluttony for the sense of gluttony or the sake of gluttony, and that's what I think that's kind of the snake eating its own tail in some ways.
Right. Like the more you spend on your marketing, the higher your prices are going to have to go. The more you spend on your marketing, the higher prices you have to go. And it's a hard loop. It's like it's their brand. It's like, yeah, I mean, I despise Satisfy and the, like, I just will say it. I just like despise the fact that they trademark every single word they come up with that like is supposed to make some technology cool, when you could just say what it is and people it would make way more sense. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I don't agree with their business model. I don't agree with their standpoint. Like they obviously have a successful brand. Well, I think, I don't really know. But it seems very successful. Not my cup of tea, and that's why I created Terignōta. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and that's not. It wasn't a got you question. It was more so just talk on the marketing side, because I do find it interesting, man. Every brand has their own thing. Some of them, are really into sponsoring aid stations and really going crazy on their budgets, and and some of them have the budget to do it, and by all means, like, I don't know. I just don't understand why it resonates with people. I think that's the bigger question to me. It's like a MothTech t-shirt just doesn't, I don't get it. Like you just take a normal t-shirt, you cut holes into it.
I think the like sponsoring aid stations, sponsoring athletes, like this is all great. Like support, like keeping the money in the sport, fine. I mean, sure, they probably overdo it with many things, but I would say that like the sponsoring aid stations, and I have no idea about their athlete budget, but I would say like the thing, like the community facing things they do is probably a very small portion of their marketing budget. And yeah.
Interesting.
Like those things are all great. I don't want to like bash somebody for spending money on marketing an aid station, because that's awesome.
On the topic of athletes, I'm going to change the subject. I'm going to go to, because we had a listener question. I'm going to read this out to you. Kevin asks, it's actually a perfect segue here. Has Alex considered an ambassador program or athlete program that doesn't cost him a dime? ? With his model of business, I'll happily pay him to be a part of an ambassador, to be a part of an ambassador team. He left the word team out, with the only benefit being early access to new gear, no discounts, but let the ambassadors give free feedback with items. I don't know. It's a good question.
I mean, that's a good question. Thank you, Kevin. That's a good question. I have definitely thought about doing something similar, or something like, you can call it whatever you want. I don't know if ambassador would be the right word, but like a testing group, or something of the sorts. I don't have any plans to do it right now. The like biggest issue with something like that is like getting enough samples. Like a factory doesn't want to make like 50 samples of something, and especially like 50 samples of every iteration of something. They don't make any money on samples, and they just don't. Yeah, they'll make like a few. And then once it's in production, like, why would I give early access to people when our mission is like making trail running accessible to everyone? Yeah. So like I at some point I will probably expand the testing, or try to make some sort of like testing program. I don't know how it would work, and I don't have any plans for it right now. I get a ton of emails about sponsorships and ambassadors, and I just like, I try to respond to everyone and say like, thanks for reaching out. But we just like, I simply don't have like the bandwidth, as I was saying before, to like set up an ambassador program, or the financial resources to sponsor athletes monetarily. And yeah, it's not in the plans right now. I'll just say that.
I like it. Nah, it's a good answer.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's tough. You need like a whole person dedicated. You need literally a whole person dedicated to running a team like that. It's not an easy thing.
It doesn't. It doesn't really make sense to like just send out gear to people and I have no follow up or like whatever. And I don't have the bandwidth to do all the follow up and like get all the feedback. And I mean, I have like, I don't know, 5 people that I give gear to right now and like talk on the phone with all the time about it. But that's about as much I can handle.
Yeah. No, I think and that's a good sample size, a good amount of people. Like once you expand it to 20 people, then you're good luck.
Yeah.
It becomes more of a headache. No, good question. All right. Kevin has another audience question. The men's Forbidden Fleece hoodie, will that be restocked soon? And then that's followed up with the creation of some sort of sun hoodie for the high alpine, or an iteration of that. That's maybe, I guess, a different material for the high alpine, something like that.
Yeah. So the fleece will be restocked. It's in production right now. It will be in 3 new colors. It will have a couple updates. It'll have just like a drawstring closure on the waist, and it'll be made with recycled polyester this time, which is, I don't know, kind of cool. But yeah, it's in production now, and it should be in stock in June, which I know is a terrible time for a fleece hoodie to come out, but c'est la vie, or whatever they say. So yeah, that's that. Sorry about the long wait. I shifted manufacturers with the fleece hoodie, and also one, Chinese New Year is in February, and so all the factories basically take the entirety of February off. So that causes some delays. And I shifted factories, and the recycled material, I wanted to try out recycled materials, and it just like takes longer to produce a batch of recycled materials. For a sun hoodie, yes, working on a sun hoodie. I don't have any date for it. I don't have any real details on it. Hopefully by the fall, there'll be a sun hoodie and or long sleeve version of the trail tee out. Yeah, I'm wearing like I'm actually wearing a sample of a sun hoodie that I got. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Still have some work to do on that. So maybe in the fall, we'll see.
Nice. Looks pretty cool. On the last audience question, Josh asks, and this kind of follows up to, and this might be a redundant question, to what items are you planning for 2026? Anything big? I mean, you kind of already, have the gamut you have the whole kit more or less. But besides the sun hoodie or a long sleeve trail tee, anything else kind of in the works that you are working on right now?
Yeah, so I think the most exciting thing that is actually in production right now are half tights.
Nice.
Yeah, coming out with half tights that I'm pretty psyched on. I've been working on them for a long time. They should be out in June-ish as well. And yeah, I always have a bunch of random products in the hopper, but it would be dumb to talk about all of them because I don't have the money to make all of them. So
it's a good little tease.
Yeah,
for
the biggest thing is the half tights. Yeah, which I'm psyched about. Hopefully followed up by tights in the fall, like
nice
long full tights. 2
great additions. I mean, I feel like nobody really.
Those are like the key missing apparel products, I think, right now.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think to do a half tight really well, especially at an affordable price. I mean, dude, the average half tight, you go online, it's $80 to $100. I can't remember how much Janji charges, but yeah, you get half tights are not cheap. So to do it at an affordable price is pretty legit.
Yeah. And they're very in right now, I think. Half tights are very hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, they make. I don't know if you follow any of these meme accounts, but the half tights on men have been.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a hot
yeah,
topic these
yeah.
days.
Well, our half tights, our men's half tights at least, are have like a half brief in them, so there's at least an extra layer of fabric there.
There you go. There you go.
Which also, I mean, for me, it like makes chafing way, 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 way better. I tested them with both, and it like, yeah, I don't know how people run without a extra.
No,
I don't know.
dude,
I
the
don't know if
burn.
people do or how people do, but
Yeah,
yeah.
not good. Not
Anyway,
good. Yeah. All right, let's shift gears. We've got a few minutes left. I want to talk about you as the athlete, dude. I was so impressed with the way you ended the season, man. You went out and won Cirque Series Crystal, which I got to be honest with you, I had you on the podium, but I was really interested to see the matchup between you and Liam. I couldn't believe that happened. I was like, damn, Alex. And then
yeah, I didn't have myself doing that either, so no sweat there.
and then you go and win what is it? The UTMB Whistler
The
100K.
Whistler UTMB, yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
What a
Yeah, I was like psyched. I was super psyched. I was honestly more psyched on the Cirque series than the Whistler race. But yeah, training has like been all over the place the last many months. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it doesn't happen, sometimes whatever, and I just like get it in when I can. And um, yeah, I think such a big advantage for me, or like advantage over my previous self for me, is like I'm not like before. I felt like I was racing to like prove myself, or like, yeah, get noticed or recognized or sponsored or something, and just like show people I was like good enough somehow. And now I feel like I'm running and training and racing just because I like trying hard, and like it feels like a bit of an unlock to have no pressure and like um, be satisfied at where I am in like my life outside of running. That running can just be like this thing I get to try super hard at, and like don't always have the most time to train, but can still compete. And yeah, it's cool. I don't really know what more to say. Like the Cirque Series race felt super good, and then the Whistler race was like just a way to get into UTMB this year, and it wasn't super deep, really competition. There weren't actually that many people who showed up, so um, yeah. But I was like really happy with how I executed my own race on that. Have had a bunch of nutrition issues in the past, and like really just simplified my nutrition plan for that, and like kept pushing throughout the whole race, and like yeah, was just happy how I executed it. And I have the Big Alta 100K coming up in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, that I'm very excited to go race. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty ready to try hard again. So
Ooh,
yeah,
I like it. I like it. I mean, dude, I gotta hand it to you. Of all the performances you've had, and you've had a lot of really good ones, I think that Cirque Series race is. I'm gonna put that near the top because there was a
thanks.
lot of people that showed up to that race and threw down, and yeah, that was a big deal. So very
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah, I appreciate
especially.
that. Yeah.
I mean, for your journey as well, dude. And I don't know if I mean, for the audience, we've got a lot of new listeners here, a lot of new fans for both, but like I don't know if people understand the story of you tearing your Achilles and then coming back from that. And like, that's not an easy thing to do. Like, pretty crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and it like, I mean, it's like an old. I don't know what the saying is. Beating an old drum. I don't know. Whatever. It feels like an old story now. It feels like I've said it enough, but it's crazy how much it still affects me. Like, um, not mentally, but just like physically, my calf is tiny on my left side, and like it actually boggles my mind that I can run as well as I can, because like I can do like half of a single-legged calf raise on that side. Like it is so weak. Um, and I like have been trying to do some PT and stuff, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's ever coming back to what it was. But somehow my body's adjusted and worked with it. And yeah, it's cool to see like I can still be strong and yeah.
Beat these young whippersnappers. I like it.
Yeah.
Shout out for the old guys. That's right.
I wouldn't call myself that yet, but all right.
I feel like for being you've been in the sport a long time though, you know.
I've been in the sport a long time. I have been in the sport a long time. That's fair, but I'm only 30 years old, so come on.
That's true. That's true. Fair enough. I mean, I hate to throw you in the loop with the old guys. All right, you're still young. You're not even in your prime yet, dude.
I think Liam and I are like the same age, or
are you really?
1 year apart or something. I think
amazing. Where are we going to see you this year? Where are you going to be racing?
Yeah, Big Alta, and then the only race I'm signed up for right now is UTMB, which I'm excited about. I'm sure I'll throw some other ones in the middle of those two. Probably the Leavenworth Trail Fest because it's right here in town. You all should come do that race. Yeah, I'm like mostly just excited to try hard on efforts that like mean something to me and like are more adventure-y. I feel like the last many months I haven't been able to prioritize getting out for like personal adventures all that much. So I'm like stoked to try to get some more of those in the summer.
I like it. The fire is lit. Yeah. Well, Alex, dude, thank you so much for coming on. This is a great conversation. I think this is definitely better than our first one, in my opinion. It's a great conversation.
I had more to talk about. I mean, the first one, I think I was like, I don't know, 2 weeks after shipping my first product or something. So yeah. I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I definitely didn't know what I was doing then. So,
well, dude, I can't wait for the.
Appreciate you having me on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Of course, I can't wait for the third installment. You know, maybe by then it'll be this thing will be giant ship, and you'll be, you know, it'll be yeah. I love it, dude. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Great conversation, and I can't wait for the next one. And have a great rest of your. And good luck with training, and hey, good luck at Big Alta too, man. It's gonna be a great race.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. All right, man. We're done recording. Dude, thank you